All right, let's just forget everything you think you know about digital worlds. I mean, forget the glitches, the lag, the fragile code, and servers that can just fall over. Today, we are diving into a totally different kind of reality. One that's built not on trust, but on pure, verifiable mathematical certainty. A world that literally runs on a digital crystal.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We're building these incredible digital lives, but the foundation is basically a house of cards. We've all been there, right? A character glitches through a wall, some important item just vanishes from your inventory. A single tiny error can completely shatter the illusion that we're all sharing the same reality.
So, the root of the problem is this thing called state drift. Just imagine you and a friend are playing the same online game. On your screen, a door is wide open, but on their screen, it's shut. That's state drift. Your version of reality has drifted away from the servers and from your friends. It's just digital chaos, where you're supposedly in the same world, but are actually living in slightly different universes.
Now, in most systems today, a simple visual bug can cause a total catastrophe. It could even corrupt the entire database, the underlying truth. But what if we could build a world where that's just impossible? What if the visual layer, everything you see, everything you interact with, is completely and totally separate from the foundational, unchangeable truth of that world?
And this is exactly where the observer comes into play. You should think of it as the consumer-facing part of this universe. It's not really a program you run in the usual sense. It's more like a special lens. It takes this universal mathematical heartbeat, this pulse from something called the crystal, and it translates that into the unique world that you see on your screen.
So how does your screen actually draw anything? Well, it's a pure deterministic computation. It all starts with your own unique seed number. Then the universal crystal ticks forward just one step. And here's the key. Your observer then mathematically calculates the state of your object for that exact seed at that exact tick. It's not getting messages from a server. It is literally rebuilding reality from the ground up based on pure math every single frame.
And check this out. This shows you the result perfectly. On the left, you've got time ticking forward, 0, 1, 2. Now look at seed 1. At tick 0, it's at position 3, 5. At tick 1, bam, it's at 12, 1. That sequence is a mathematical guarantee. It will be the same today, tomorrow, on your computer, on my computer, it doesn't matter. And notice how seed 2 has a totally different path. It's the same math, just a different seed, which creates a different reality. But both are perfectly, absolutely predictable.
Okay, so a perfect view is amazing, but how does the system even remember what happened? You know, how do we get a perfect, unforgeable history of every event? Well, that brings us to the first foundational layer of truth, the occurrence chain. Every single thing that happens, and I mean everything, gets stamped with an occurrence identity, or an OID. Think of it like a digital fingerprint for a single moment in time. But here's the real magic. Each one of those fingerprints is mathematically chained to the one that came right before it. This creates an unbreakable, completely tamper-proof timeline. You literally cannot change the past because the math just won't let you.
Okay, so the IID tells us when something happened. But what even is the something? What is the actual object or action that's being recorded in this perfect timeline? This is the next layer we have to peel back, and it reveals the timeless identity of the things themselves.
And this is the semantic identity, or SID. The SID is the what? It's a cryptographic hash, a fingerprint of the pure, unchanging meaning of an object. A really great analogy is the script for a play. The text of Hamlet is its SID. It's a timeless, eternal concept. A specific performance of Hamlet on a Tuesday night? That's the OID. This system gets that the script and the performance are two fundamentally different things.
And this is the absolute crucial point, this constitutional split. On one side, you have the SID, the what. It's derived only from its own data. It's completely outside of time, and it never ever changes. It's the soul of the object. On the other side, you've got the OID, the when. It's a specific moment in time recording a SID's action, and a brand new one is created for every single event. This separation is the key to everything. It's what makes perfect replayability possible.
So we have the what and the when. We have the view. But what's driving all of this? What is the fundamental engine, the mathematical heartbeat that powers this entire reality? This takes us right to the core of the whole system, the atomic kernel.
Now, don't let this formula intimidate you. You do not need to understand the specifics of bitwise rotations or XOR operations. That's not the point. The point is this. This isn't code. This is the equivalent of a law of physics for this digital world. It is the simple, unchanging mathematical rule that dictates how every single bit of data in this universe is allowed to change from one state to the next. That's it.
And what's the rhythm of this universe? It's the number 7. Every object, every action, it all advances to the beat of a simple, predictable 7-cycle tick. This is the universal metronome. It doesn't matter if your computer is fast or slow, the world only moves forward when this internal clock ticks. It ensures everyone, everywhere, experiences the exact same flow of time.
So let's bring this all back together. That universal tick, that simple 7-cycle rhythm, that's the foundation for absolutely everything. And once you understand that foundation, you can grasp the single most important takeaway from this whole system. The truth is not what you see on your screen.
This is the authority ladder, and it is a one-way street. Down at the bottom, you have the kernel. That is the absolute truth. The math, the history, the identities, it's all there. Way up at the top, you have the observer, and that's just a projection. The graphics, the interface, the sounds, a glitch on your screen, a visual error in the projection has zero authority. It can never flow backward and corrupt the truth in the kernel. Your entire visual interface is temporary, disposable, and it can be rebuilt perfectly from the ground up at any time.
So we've seen how a digital world needs this absolute mathematical separation between its foundational truth, the kernel, and its temporary appearance, the observer, just to keep from falling into chaos. It really makes you wonder, right? How often in our own lives do we let the observer, our fleeting perceptions, a bad mood, a temporary setback, corrupt our understanding of our own fundamental, foundational truths? It's a powerful idea, and one that extends way, way beyond the digital realm.